All right, what's going on, everyone? Aaron here, Clean Cuts Lawn Care. It is Friday morning, getting ready to head to the shop. I was at the shop last week, and if you remember, the 30-inch, our original, the timing belt had broke. I replaced it, and it kept breaking, like I think twice. I replaced it twice, and the belt kept breaking. And I later said I had forgot the pulley that you adjust the timing belt with had a bolt in the very back of it. And I said I had forgot about that bolt, didn't tighten it when I replaced the belts, and I think that's what caused it to break. So I replaced it again last week, and when I went to engage the blades, I couldn't even move it, and I ended up breaking the damn cable, right? So check this out. Here's the new cable. Now, when the first time I ever broke the blade engagement cable, it happened on a job. It was me and Vicky were working. I ran straight to the dealer. I needed the cable right then and there, right? This cable, same exact model number, same exact packaging, same everything, same cable, same ignition plate, engagement plate, same everything, identical. I paid $84 from the dealer that day. When I just broke this, paid $19 on Amazon for the same everything. Okay, I'm not talking about the same just model number, but I mean, it's literally the exact same bag they handed me at the dealer for 84 bucks, 19 on Amazon. So I did break the cable because that engagement plate was somehow stuck to that main pulley, that real big metal pulley that you put down with the timing belt. I don't know how, but like maybe just it barely got stuck under it, I'm not sure, but it would not engage, and while messing with it I broke the cable. So I took that pulley back off, not off, just lifted it up a little bit, loosened it, reset the plate, and it was fine. The plate will move, but you know, I had broke the cable. So I'm gonna go put the cable on. I'm gonna engage the blades, and I'm just gonna let it run for a while, because that belt, when I had replaced it, it didn't make it long. I would say within 10 minutes of runtime, it had snapped both times. So I'm gonna let it run for a little while. Every time I go to the shop until we begin to mow, I'm gonna let it run for a little while. I don't like the idea of the blades turning while it's not actively mowing, but you know, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna head and do that. Also, you guys seen the video. I'm not gonna say the name of the company, because at this point now I need to protect my YouTube channel, right? But you guys know a company has suspended my account, and I did do a video. A lot of people reached out to me that are going through the same thing and other things, but also I found like another avenue where I was investigating it basically, and I have communicated with so many people who the same exact thing happened to, and I got to be honest with you, at this point I feel like the company is basically part of the scam. Which, okay, I get it, you're a business. However, because they have these other companies that are affiliated, and they say, oh, for 500 bucks we can get your account back up and running. Okay, let's say even that's true and they could. What's to say this won't happen again in a month or 2 months or whatever? So here's how I would go about it. Okay, this company gives you this site. You're able to put a ad on there, or I'm sorry, a listing on there, right? I knew within the first year this was very valuable, very valuable. Now, of course, it comes with some bad, okay? Sean's Lawns last night was telling me about some bads he's experienced, which sucks. And we've also experienced some a little bit of a lower quality customer at times from this, you know, listing. But so, however, the positive more than outweighs the bad, and in my experience only. I can only speak for myself. So instead of suspending me and having these scam ass companies contact me for money, why not just let me have the listing for a year, like in the beginning, let me see the benefits of it, and then just charge me for the listing every year. Look, if this company who suspended me was to contact me right now and say, look, for $500 a year, you can keep your listing, everything will go back to normal, it'll be protected, I would get my credit card out and this would be over. But instead, you got to be a slime ball and do it this way. And like I said, through me investigating this and talking to so many people at this point, I have no other choice but to believe that, and so does everyone else I've talked to about it. In fact, everything points to just that. What are you gonna do? All right, I'm heading to the shop. I got a couple mowers out warming up. The carburetor that I replaced is working perfect. If it is still leaking oil, it's so small that it's unnoticeable. So I'm pretty happy about that. I did tighten up some of the pan bolts, the ones I could access anyway. It seems to be running good. All right, so you can see I replaced the timing belt. I adjusted it accordingly. I got that back bolt tightened. When I couldn't engage it, I moved it forward a little bit, so I'm going to double check, make sure it's still tightened all the way. This is the pulley that for some reason had that ignition or engagement plate right there kind of tied up and it wouldn't move, and that's how I broke the cable. So I took that, I loosened up the bolt, I lifted up the pulley, I reset the ignition plate, and then the ignition plate would move, but like I said, it was too late. So gonna make sure I tighten that bolt up again, and replace the cable, and we're gonna start it up and let it run. Oh, check this out. So this is a standing whiteboard with legs. When we get to fall cleanups, I take a whiteboard and I list all of our fall cleanups, because some of them have multi-service cleanups, right? Some of them we're going to do 3 times a fall. So I always use a whiteboard for our fall cleanups. That was Vicky got that for me this fall. I used it, but now it's going to be our maintenance board. It's going to go in the shop. I don't know if I'm going to mount it or use the legs that it's on. If I have room, I'll use the legs. Every piece of equipment will have a section on that board, because the only piece of equipment that has an hours meter is the 0 turn. Nothing else I have has a hours meter, which is fine. But I don't care, because that's why I'm constantly checking, right? Constantly checking the oil, constantly checking the belts, air filters, everything. So not having an hours meter has never been a big deal to me. It's fine, but this will make it quite a bit easier keeping track of everything. So that's a good thing going into this year. All right, so I just retightened that rear bolt. Now I gotta see if I can get a good visual on that right there, right where the cable's hooked into. Right where that spring is. A little hard to get it off. Let me see here. Because I'm not replacing that, okay, it's off. I'm not replacing the engagement plate, there's nothing wrong with it. Off of there, and in the back, and then take it off of the top. But when you do it, it's good to know how much slack you have to where you're reattaching it. So you can pretty much see, I don't know if you guys can see it, you can pretty much see how much cable you have where you're going to attach it right here. Because if you don't have the right pressure on it, obviously it's not going to engage. What is that, a 10 millimeter, I think? I think it's a 10 mil. Okay, got that off. Bring it out. One more here in the back. All right, got it all disconnected. So I'm gonna have to pop this off. Now, just so you guys know, this cable still had time left. It had use left. I broke the cable. It's not that it wore out too fast or something like that. I personally, I was impatient. I couldn't figure out why the engagement plate wasn't moving, and I just squeezed too hard on the handle trying to see if maybe, you know, it was just snagged, and I broke it. So it's not a situation where it was worn out or the cable's junk. I actually put a little bit of oil down in these cables every so often, every time I do maintenance, things like that. And it helps too. And that's as per my buddy Bill from Billy Goat Lawn Service. He's the first one who told me I need to be doing that. All right, so after you hook that spring on and you're bringing it through this first one, when you pull it to where it's nice and snug, it should basically give you exactly that space that you need. But putting this plate back on is going to be a little tough. So what I do is I keep that pressure with these fingers. I keep the pressure that I need, and then I hold the plate with these two fingers, and then I just finish tightening it down. You don't have to tighten it to the point where, you know, because you see right there, it's very snug. It's not going nowhere. It has the pressure. Now I just got to go back up here, do that one, and I already have it connected up here. So I got to do that back one, and let's see if, you know, we're good to go. It'll take a minute to start. I guess it won't. I'm gonna let it run for a minute, and then we're gonna engage it. Vicky's mower out, clean that up a little bit, and that's really all I got to do today. All right, not bad, not too bad at all. Let me get a blower warmed up, and we'll blow this out. I'm gonna use Vicky's blower just so it can run for a minute. All right, so the original 30 seems to be running good. The belt seems to be hanging in there. It's timed. It's not loosening at all. The cable is, you know, working. Oh, the sticker, man. I don't know. That one has never came off. Now that one did, but whatever. So I blew out the the shop, you know, so the floor is clean. A lot of dirt gets in there, just probably, you know, like with any shop. So real quick, there's a young guy who I don't know if he follows our channel, but he's been commenting a lot, like in my earlier videos. I mean early, you know, we started with the car. We didn't even have like the bigger mowers yet. Them earlier videos, and some recent. But I think the first time I even like recognized that he had commented was probably like the middle of summer, and he, you know, he said he was starting his own lawn care business and everything, which is cool. And he was asking a lot of questions. And look, anytime I'm able to help out, I answer the questions. You guys know people have emailed me, I'm always cool with. I had 2 people who called me. I mentioned this before. One was like a teenager, so I didn't mind. The other, I mean, it was a grown man. I did mind, and I told him that. But so, you know, this kid was asking some questions, and you know, like I said, I answered everything. And then out of nowhere, a video pops up, and it's his video. And he had went and he bought some equipment to start his lawn care business this coming spring. He's going to be using I think it's an SUV. Yeah, I'm almost certain it was an SUV or a van. Damn, I don't remember now. No trailer or nothing. You know, just running it out of the back, which is cool. I like that stuff. But this first video he did was showing some of his equipment that he got. And I'm a believer in get what you can get, right? But in his video, and I mentioned to him that I was going to talk about this because I talked to him about it. He was talking about how he feels this is like the easiest business to get started. I somewhat agree, kind of, in a way. There are aspects to it where it is somewhat easy to get started, okay? Sometimes you can just use what you have at your house to get started. In our case, honestly, equipment wise, we started for under $1,000, or roughly 1,000. So in some aspects I can agree to that. However, he straight up said he's not a fix-it kind of guy. And he said he's not worried about that aspect of it, though, because how often is lawn equipment really going to break down on you? And I said, hey, man, I'm not trying to rain on your parade at all. You know, you got my full support, bro, like, and I'll help you out any way I can. I said, but shit's gonna break. It's gonna break quick, it's gonna break often. And he kind of has it that and remember, he knows I'm doing this video, or putting it in a video. He has it in his head that it shouldn't be a big deal to take things to the dealer and they fix it and you just pay for it. Well, I can tell you now, man, in the beginning you're not going to make that much money anyway, to where you're going to pay the dealer or a mechanic or whatever to fix your stuff. Even once someone is going, okay, so take us, right? I'm just going to use my business as an example. We do okay, we make okay money. Robbie's making okay money. We're able to pay him okay. I'm able to make okay money, and the business is surviving, right? We're able to pay for the gas. We're able to pay for the insurance. We're able to buy parts when something happens. Thank God so far we've been able to pay, like when the trucks had to go to the mechanic, we were able to pay that bill. Thankfully, maybe half of the stuff I was able to fix myself. Again, shout out to Cutter Squad. That's my boy. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me. So, I told him straight up, man, like, that you're gonna have to learn. Okay, I was in the same situation in the beginning. Like, you have to learn how to fix your own stuff, because them bills will pile up on you, and you'll, at the end of every month, when you're looking at your P&Ls, or if however you do it, I do it every day. I do a P&L every day, a P&L every week, a P&L every month, a P&L every year. You start seeing you're paying these bills for them to fix your equipment. Woo! Woo! You're not gonna like that. You know, again, before we started the business, I could do small things. Okay, I could do the disc brakes on a car. I could change oil. Very small stuff. You have to learn how to fix your own equipment. That's what it is. You don't have a choice. Even the big companies, you know, who have tons of crews and multiple shops or whatever, they generally are going to have an employee who knows what he's doing, and he can either get overtime, or maybe they'll split his time. Okay, on a Friday, you're going to spend half the day in the field and the rest of the day at the shop working on equipment, or maybe you're going to spend all Friday. And sometimes you are going to have to take your equipment to the mechanic or to the dealer. It's what it is. We've had to do it. The 52 has had to go to the dealer. For some reason, it as I was turning, it would not turn. It would just stop on me. I did everything possible to try to figure it out for days. Could not figure it out. And these tires are, I mean, I had these tires put on when I first bought the mower. We bought it like in the beginning of a fall. I only used it a few times that fall, and I had the tires. So I'm like, it ain't the tires. It's not the drive belts are still brand new. I went through everything, couldn't figure it out. Come to find out, all it is, I couldn't figure it out. It was the bar in here. Was it that bar? Yeah. It wasn't allowing the pulley to move. It just needed lubricated. But like I said, sometimes you are going to have to take your stuff in, but for the most part, you got to do it. You just got to learn. And I think, like in my case, every year you're going to learn more and more and more and more. If I had to replace one of these motors, nope, not happening. But the general basis of it, you just got to learn. You just got to do it. Keep messing it up. Keep learning. That's what it is. Even this timing belt, the thing kicked my ass last week. I mean, I know how to do it. I know you take this off and whatever, but it was hard to keep the the blades timed while you were putting it all back together. But you just have to do it. When I replaced those pulleys from the pulleys that come with it to the commercial pulleys, same thing. You know, it beat me up. It took me like 2 hours to do something that might take Joe Schmo down the road 20 minutes. But you do it anyway. So that's it. Closing it down. I don't know if you guys can see it. Way up top of that hill, you can see that big pile of garbage. That's a landfill up there, and it goes for miles. And it wraps around the freeway. So it goes the next city over, from here to the next city over. There's a bunch of big like hills, right? And you know, they bury it. Well, they sold a section of it to some company, I don't know, like probably like 15 years ago or something. And the company built up on top of one of the hills, and somehow the landfill underground caught on fire, and it burned for like 4 years or 5 years. And they just couldn't get it contained. And the company had built like this multi-million-dollar facility, like 4 different buildings, big, you know, big area. And the fire worked its way really close to their building, to their premises rather. And the city basically confiscated their property back from them, probably pennies on the dollar, and tore everything back down. And the fire never reached, basically where the fire was when they confiscated that property back is where it stopped after burning for like 4 or 5 years. And they demolished the buildings. And that company, from what I heard, was bankrupt after they took it from them. You know, because like I said, they never got back close to what they paid for the area. So a lot going on. All right, if you liked the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, let me know everything I'm doing wrong, and keep the edges clean, boys. I'm out.